Hello, algoriters. Sorry, court is back in session. I was just sitting with all the attorneys in my chambers talking about the cases that we have on the docket tonight. I'm Al Reynolds, and welcome back to the Court of Public Opinion. I'll be serving as your judge, and you, the viewers, will be the jury. Don't forget, here in the Court of Public Opinion, you, the people, will always be heard. So be sure to get your questions ready so that we can get them answered by our legal beagles. Please don't forget to hit that like button because I need those likes. Also, hit that subscribe button. And if you are subscribed, be sure to share the show with somebody else by using that share button. Turn on your notifications because we got a lot of hot stuff coming up in the next couple of weeks. And as always, drop down in those comments because we love it when you engage with us as we cover each and every case. Now, let's introduce the legal beagles tonight. We have three legal beagles with us tonight. First up, we have that fiery civil attorney, Shatan Turner is back. And don't forget to use those fire emojis. Shatan, welcome back to the Court of Public Opinion. Oh, you're on mute.
So sorry. Hi, algoriters. Hi, Your Honor. I am here for it tonight.
You are here for it tonight. Next up, we have our legal criminal defense attorney, the one and only from the beginning, Brian Ross. Welcome, counselor.
Hey, good to see everybody. How's everybody doing? Good to see you.
We're going to be bright tonight. All right, don't forget, Brian is represented by the briefcases. Drop some briefcases down into the chat. And last up, we have our newcomer, our public defendant, our whippersnapper, our young thug. Welcome, Jamarcus. Welcome, counselor.
Thank you so much, Al. The young thug, I like that. I like that. Thank you guys so much for having me. Just be sure to put the chill emojis, the blue face emojis in there, you guys.
All right, we'll do those chill emojis for Counselor Bradford. For just a fun fact, guys, Counselor Bradford is a young attorney in the Los Angeles County Public Defender's Office, and he is not even 30 years old. So let's put some applause in the chat for having Jamarcus join us on the panel tonight. Jamarcus, welcome to the Court.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Court is now in session. All right, here we go. First up, Donald Trump, welcome back to the Court of Public Opinion. You and your lawyers are a clever group, and clever is not going to be good enough, though, because he's back in the Court of Public Opinion because his indictments, because the Supreme Court decided that a standing president can be immune to any illegal activity. All right, Brian, a criminal defense attorney. Brian, tell me, what is it that they have done now? Because basically what the prosecutors have had to do is they have to take this old case, redefine it to introduce a new case because it has to be in a different capacity. We have to find illegal activity outside of his capacity as president. Attorney Brian, what's going on with this case and how are the attorneys realigning this case?
Well, what Donald Trump has successfully done is found the best $2,500 per hour lawyers that this country has to offer. That's what he did. The United States government came after him for 4 charges, all right, all leading from that, the election issues and saying, well, the insurrection, all that, 4 charges. Somehow his lawyers went to the Supreme Court of the United States and convinced them that what he did falls under what's called presidential immunity. Presidents have immunity. They can't be convicted of certain things. And what they did was convince the Supreme Court that what Donald Trump did falls under presidential immunity, which completely kiboshed the entire complaint that the prosecutor had. So the prosecutor looked at what the Supreme Court said and cut the parts out of his complaint that made it bad for him and refiled it. So Donald Trump is being charged again, same 4 charges, but he said, the Supreme Court said, presidents have broad immunity, they can do X, Y, and Z. He took out the X, Y, and Z out of his complaint and refiled it with A, B, and C. So.
Okay, Shatan Turner, tell me, counselor, I'm still confused. Sorry, what Brian said was cute and everything, but I'm not understanding. How did they remix these charges to make them stick now? Can someone, Shatan Turner, bailiff, Can you help us understand? Break it down to us like we're one of your kids.
So, constitutional law can be kind of tricky to grasp. A lot of people assume that when the Supreme Court issues a ruling, that the case is over for all time. In this case, as Attorney Ross indicated, the Supreme Court carved out a certain immunity for presidents who are acting in their official capacity, right? So presidents cannot be found guilty for acts in their official capacity, but that leaves other acts that the president might be engaged in while president that could be subject to review or inquiry. Mr. Trump is in front of a prosecutor that is a dog with a bone. And if you read the complaint, it reads like a madman's manifesto because it describes how he was in the office and he wasn't willing to accept that the election was over, and separates out the actions that they say he took as a citizen and comments that he was allowed to make, even if they were false, and then starts discussing actions that he made that were outside of the scope of the presidency, but using the office of presidency to wield influence on federal agencies. And so he's facing conspiracy, a series of fraud allegations. But the thing that I find most interesting, considering he's running for president again, is that one of the charges is conspiracy to defraud the United States.
States government. Exactly. That's the thing that I thought was most interesting too. Like how I'm still first, I don't understand how a felon with over 30 charges is still able to run for president. But I recently learned that you can actually be president in jail. Did you know that? I didn't know you could run for president in jail. You can be president if you're in jail. You can run for president if you're in jail. All right. So basically what you're saying is they are saying that in this bipolar moment, because that's the only thing I can think to separate the two. In this bipolar moment, one case he's acting as president because he was the seated president. And in the other case, they're saying that he acted personally. Am I hearing you correctly?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And they're also saying that he engaged in activities because he was president, but they were outside of the scope of the job. Right. Mm-hmm. So that's how they're really parsing it out to try to allow them to go after him despite the Supreme Court ruling. And so the Supreme Court said this is what he can't be prosecuted for and remanded it back for review. And the prosecutor's like, yeah, you might be Donald Trump, but I ain't stopping.
Ah, got it. All right. Thanks for breaking that down. Attorney Turner, Shatan Turner, that fire emoji. Throw some fire emojis for you breaking that down. For those of us in the court of public opinion who did not know. Moving along, Diddy, welcome back to the court of public opinion. Okay, Diddy, you filed a 1538 to dismiss the case that Little Rod has brought against you. He's saying that it's frivolous and it's simply not true. Now, Little Rod is claiming that he can't get any work. And that, in fact, he's hiding out because he feels like not only has he been blackballed in the industry, but no one will talk to him. So let's go to Attorney Shatan Turner on this one. Shatan, break down this Diddy case. What is a 1538 first? And this is my question. Why are they just now filing this 1538 now? If they were so convinced that it should have been dismissed, why did they wait 6 months? We're now month 7 after these initial allegations to ask for a motion to dismiss.
The time frame for filing such a motion varies depending on whether the opposite side pushes for it. And so in this case, they are still within the time frame to assert it. So I wouldn't read anything into the time frame except for this is now they decided to do it. It may be that Diddy sold some houses and he was finally able to pay his lawyers. Who knows?
Got it.
But what they're saying is that what's most fascinating is Diddy is saying that these allegations are blatantly false. That's what he's taken the position that this is a lie. a bold-faced lie, and he's going after it and trying to kick it out on that basis. And I think that because he's facing so many other similar cases involving sexual assault allegations in particular, and treating former employees improperly, the fact that he's coming out so strong in this little Rod case means one of two things. Either he feels like he has a stronger case here than he does in the other actions, or he's learned that the way that you eat an elephant is one bite at a time. And so this is the first bite he's taking, and he plans to try to dismantle this entire kind of structure.
Construct. Yeah.
Him.
Got it.
Exactly.
All right, Attorney Brian Ross, you're the criminal attorney here. Talk to me really quickly about this. Seems weird to me because I personally read all the documents, saw all of Little Rod's pictures,
right?
Recordings.
We all read it.
With all that Little Rod brought to the table, it's better than any other case that is against Diddy. But Diddy's not saying he didn't do all these other cases, but he's being very, very like, I did not do what Little Rod said did. Little Rod has pictures of you, Diddy, like physical body pictures. What is going on here, criminal defense attorney Ross?
Well, the thing about it is, if you don't argue something in court, people, all right, all of the listeners, if you don't argue something in court, you can waive your right to argue it later. So whether you like the teeth of the motion, right? You might not like it. It might not be great, but you file it because you're hoping you can get one or two things knocked out. And that's what Diddy's lawyers are doing now, just trying to knock it down. They're saying whatever Lil Rod did, even though the pictures are there, I don't know how you're going to get around it. I don't know how you're going to get around the pictures, but whatever. They're saying whatever is there, he's failing to state a cause of action. When you fail to state the cause of action, you're telling the judge, no matter what they said about me, I really didn't break the law. And this is what Diddy's been saying the whole time. So we'll see where it goes. I'm not like Al said, I don't know where you get around those pictures, but
yeah,
Attorney Ross, I do want to say something on that behalf because with the motion to dismiss, you have to overall, in order to get that granted, you have to basically state that what they're saying is frivolous, that there's no truth to it at all. And if we look at what Lil Rod is saying in the pictures and the allegations and the complaints, one of the complaints shows a screenshot of Stevie J doing back shots with a white dude. Like there's a lot of
hold on, Attorney Bradford. What's a back shot?
Oh my God, you're not asking me what a back shot is, Your Honor. Basically, I mean, hey, all I could tell you is what I saw in the photo, and from the photo that was within the complaint that was filed to the actual court, there was a photo of Stevie J, and I looked at the complaint of Stevie J behind a naked Stevie J, to be exact, behind a naked white guy. That was within Mr. Lil Rod's complaint in order to say that, yes, these individuals, Cuba Gooding Jr., he says was harassing him, was touching his anus area, was touching his private areas. That is exploitation.
Order in the court.
Nasty.
It's getting hot in here.
I'm just saying, Your Honor.
Back shots. Is this legal?
I mean,
legal? Attorney Turner, save me, please.
The thing I would say, I mean, Attorney Jamarcus, he went for some of the salacious details, but like I said, I'm here for it, so I'm here for that too. Although now I can't remove that image from my mind. But what I was going to say is that to Diddy's point, what Diddy is probably anchoring on, and this is like kind of what Attorney Ross is saying, like it might not be a story you would tell at church, but it might be something that'll get him off legally, because he's likely trying to say the reason these are blatant falsehoods is because I don't know what Stevie J was doing. I don't know what Cuba Gooding Jr. was doing and allegedly touching this and touching that. All I know is I had nothing to do with it. If he was at this party just because I hosted it, I am not the one who sexually assaulted him. I was not involved in requiring him to engage in these acts. He's a grown man. He did what he did, and I don't have anything to do with it.
Oh, okay. I can see that. Listen, it's not illegal to be freaky, right? We talked about this in the past.
It's not illegal to be freaky.
It's not illegal to be freaky, but it is illegal to force yourself onto someone else. Okay. Right. All right, let's keep it moving.
Use your power.
Use your power. Oh no, ain't nobody's going to use their power to make me take a back shot. Jamarcus Bradford, settle down in my court, please. Settle down. I don't care.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. My apologies.
I don't care how much money you got. Settle down, sir. You're not gonna force me to take no back shot or let nobody play with my pussy cat if I don't want them to. All right, next up, Floyd Mayweather and Tyga. Welcome to the court of public opinion, and shame on you two for taking advantage. You two very rich, wealthy, successful men taking advantage of this jeweler. According to the jeweler, he alleged that he has lended, I guess lended is not a word, but lend them jewelry with down payment, but they never finished paying for it. And their argument is, we're celebrities and we're sending you clients and we don't have to. Criminal defense attorney Brian Ross. Now, I know you're in Miami, so you've worked on cases like this before. What is the meat and the crux of this case against Mayweather and Tyga?
Isn't it just a case of stolen jewelry? Isn't it that simple? Or do you think it's more to it than that?
Well, I think
it's definitely more to it.
Right.
Counsel.
They are claiming
definitely more to it.
What is it?
Floyd Mayweather and Tyga are claiming that they were never told that they had to pay the full amount.
Okay.
So they took $1 million worth of jewelry. They threw the jeweler $200,000. They never was told that they were going to owe the entire $1 million. Is that right, Jamarcus?
It's not right at all. Like, who in their right minds believe just because you're a celebrity that a piece of jewelry that costs $1 million and you only put $2,000 on it? That's it.
200.
Your celebrity status is not
200.
Yeah, it was 200.
200, not 2,000.
Exactly. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's unjust enrichment. One of those things, unjust enrichment, and that's breach of contract. Unjust enrichment, basically, just like it sounds, you literally became rich off of unjust transaction. That was a contract. That's why they stated breach of contract. In order to have a contract, listeners, everyone that's listening, in order to have a contract, there must be an offer, an acceptance, and consideration. And all three of those things are found in this case. There was an offer from the jeweler who stated, yes, you can have this jewelry for this amount of price. There was an acceptance by both Tyga and Floyd when they gave the down payment. And the consideration is basically an exchange of anything worth money. And that was clearly the down payment. So there was a contract in this case, which would be a breach of contract and unjust enrichment. And if I was the jeweler, I'd be coming out the both of their butts.
Got it. Yeah. Criminal attorney Ross, what would he come after? What would be the charges be? What would the charges be against?
It would be, here, I'll read it to you. They're gonna say it's really criminal conspiracy, right? And it's engaging in predatory, unfair, improper, fraudulent, and unscrupulous practices to exploit people's reputations for inventory. So what they're basically saying is, people walk in and say, yo, we're Floyd's team. What's up? You got a Rolex here. Well, you got whatever you want. And Floyd comes in and says, I'll take it. And they say, yeah, you're Floyd. Come on. And he walks out with $100,000 watch for $10,000 and never pays the bill. So basically they're saying he's predatory in nature. And when you get to that point, now you're talking about a RICO. So they're going to start with Floyd and work their way down through everyone else. They're saying it's a systematic process led by Floyd. Kind of scary, actually. Kind of scary.
Can Attorney Turner, Shatan, can you explain to me, because I keep hearing this word RICO. I hear the word RICO in this case. I hear the word RICO with the Atlanta rapper case. I hear the word RICO with Diddy. What the hell is RICO?
RICO, and I'm no expert like Attorney Ross, but RICO is racketeering, and it's an acronym for what the entire federal law stands for. It was designed during like the drug cartels to try to create enhanced penalties for organized crime efforts. And so that's what Attorney Ross was hinting at, that it wasn't just Floyd and this one, alleged breach of contract action. It was a system in place that he used in order to try to accomplish this goal. You got to remember, they're in federal court. They're not in state court. They're in federal court because Floyd lives in another state and you have diversity jurisdiction. So two ways you get into federal court. One's federal question. The other's diversity jurisdiction. Has nothing to do with DEI and everything to do with states, right? But one thing I want to point out, though, I think it's more complicated than what Attorney Jamarcus said. And this is why. Like, I'm not a celebrity, but I got some rich friends, right? And I was at a jewelry store, and I won't even tell the city and the state, but I left with a watch that cost quite a bit of money. And the jeweler gave it to me because I liked it. And he said I could pay for it when I got to it. So then I got home. I loved the watch. I ended up paying him in a few months. He gave me another watch for my ex-husband that I was supposed to bring back and give to him. I came back. He was not appreciative enough. I decided I wasn't giving him that expensive watch, and I kept it for like 7 months, and then I took it back, and I paid no money for that watch. So this notion of people getting jewelry, using it, not paying for it, is part of the game when you roll in certain circles. So I think that's what Floyd and what Tyga are going to say is like, look, you can have this ish back. Like, I already got all my usage out of it.
But, however, if I may, in your situation, you understood that you weren't getting it at a discount, right? You understood that you would eventually have to pay something, if not full price.
At some
These people are allegedly walking out with like
$1 million.
I think the list of jewelry was insane. It was like, let me read it. It was like, I got
their name alone.
Here.
It was horrible, though. If I were shady, like, he knew I wasn't shady because of the people I was with, right? But he was not happy when I brought that second watch back and didn't give him $1. He tried to tell me all these reasons why my husband was misunderstood and why he
No, he did not.
Oh, yes, he did. Yes, he did. He assumed I was going to pay for it, and I did not pay any money.
Well, you know what? I would have done the same thing too, because you're a lawyer, you're making great money. Smart. I know that if you don't do the right thing, I can sue you. Your license is at stake. Any fraudulent activity, you're in trouble. I get it. Okay. All right. So what advice do we give Floyd Mayweather and Tyga, Attorney Ross?
Let me lead on this, please, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. The advice I'm going to give you is to keep doing it. All right. You somehow walk about the jewelry store with a yellow gold Audemars Piguet, 2 Richard Millens, a Patek Philippe, and a rose gold Rolex presidential day, a diamond ring, and a diamond necklace. It's working out for you. All right. You're convincing people to give you this much.
Wait a minute. Order in the court. We are not going to be on my good internet promoting people to be mean. What are we doing here? Order. What? Attorney Turner, please get your colleague.
I mean, Attorney Ross is saying, if you can do it, then try it. If you can try it, get away with it. And then bling bling all the way wherever you live, and just don't go back to Miami.
You know what? I can't believe this. We're supposed to be teaching people how to be upstanding citizens who follow the law because they learn the law, not play the law. All right, we're going to move on. Next up, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Welcome to the court of public opinion. The star husband, Tom Girardi, has been found guilty of embezzlement, and not just regular embezzlement. He embezzled and stole from the family of the victims of a plane crash. Wow, how low do you have to be to steal from families who were victims of a plane crash? Allegedly, he had won for his victims $12.6 million, but told him, hey, you can only get half of that right now because it's COVID. Attorney Bradford, talk to us about what's going on in this case and what your thoughts are surrounding Tom Girardi.
Yes, Your Honor. Here's the thing. First of all, this is very close to my heart because I love the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. But apparently, Tom Girardi, who is a former husband of the Housewives of Beverly Hills, he is in the court of public opinion because he has stole money, as you stated, from the victims of a plane crash. The families of the victims of a plane crash. So basically, in 2018, there was a plane crash that is called the Lion Air crash, and in this plane crash, it killed 189 people, and this was near Jakarta, which was in 2018. Now, due to these 189 people dying, the Girardi's firm, they started representing 5 of the members of the family, and they wanted to basically sue the manufacturing company from the airplane. Overall, that was a smart idea. They sued them and they won. They won over $12.6 million. But let's clock this T. $12.6 million. However, the family of the victims only seen $6 million of that $12 million. And you want to know why? It's because they tried to say, Girardi's firm tried to state that, oh, it's 2020, COVID. We cannot give you the payment because COVID is stopping us from giving you the payments. That was an absolute lie, Your Honor. And that's why it shows that, here's the thing. As lawyers, we have a fiduciary duty overall to our clients. And the fiduciary duty is overall to make sure that we look at the best interest of our client. In this case, Girardi's firm was not looking in the best interest of their client. They were overall stealing money from the trust funds of those clients.
And where was it going? Where was it going?
It's going towards him paying for the firm. It's going towards Erika, Jayne. Here's what I read. Over 20 million of the profits of the revenue that the firm earned, Girardi's firm earned, over 20 million of those profits went to Erika Jayne's company, her entertainment company called Erika Jayne's Global. And here's the thing, Erika, I love you, Miss Jayne. You know I love you on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. But if there is any type of interest, if that family have any type of lien against that property, against your company, they can liquidate that, Erika. You're not going to be dancing on those stages and twirling around those poles anymore, bub. And that's okay, babes. You got to get it. So that's what's going on with him right now.
Attorney Ross, you have done
He's in a whole lot of trouble.
Got it. Attorney Ross, you have done a lot of personal injury cases, right? Or you have practiced a few in your stint as an attorney,
Thousands.
Tell me, will you dive down into what this means? Like, how do you get awarded money? I know it goes into the lawyers. I thought it was escrow. Does it go into your escrow account?
Trust account.
Okay, your trust account. And you're not supposed to use that for anything else except for paying out to your clients or whatever it is that they need, correct?
Correct.
All right. So what is really where is the embezzlement here? Where are these charges embezzlement coming from? And how is he able to convince people that they won 12 but they only get 6?
Okay. Well, if you win $12 million and the jury verdict tells you how much you win, right? You can look at it. So if you win a trial, you look at the piece of paper, it says how much you won, it will tell you damages. So if someone got $12 million and then he wound up giving them 6, you gotta wonder what's going on. I mean, 50% cut, unheard of. Never, ever, ever have I taken a 50% cut. Doesn't exist. So what's it going through? Now maybe he had experts, some costs, but even that, you talk about that stuff way before, So in this instance, he could have took that money and did anything with it. Paid for his mortgage, bought cars, jewelry, went out of town, did whatever you want. But the moment you convert that trust money to your own personal money, you're already in violation of so many rules and you're probably guilty of a crime. Nah, it's amazing. You don't go from 12 to 6. Doesn't happen.
That's insane.
And here's
That's
another
insane.
thing. Here's
So
another
Rudy
thing.
Hutchinson says that he's a part of the legal
Oh,
team from Aaron Brockovich. You're right, Rudy. You're right. He is a part of the legal team from Aaron Brockovich, and this is a very sad way because I mean that was a great case. All right, everybody, it's that time of the show when we go to you, the viewers, to answer any questions that you may have on the topics that we covered tonight. Let's see who we got first up. All right, Riri. Thank you for joining, Riri. Riri says Little Rod and his associates were seen on Instagram saying that Diddy better pay him his money by Monday. Would this hurt Little Rod's case, and could this be used as a blackmail type of stance? All right, I'm going to throw this to you, criminal attorney Ross. What are your thoughts?
I mean, there's a lot to unpack there. You have to first authenticate that that statement actually came from someone like Little Rod or someone who has authority to be Little Rod's guy or something like that. Just Instagram isn't enough. So I guess the answer would be no, because it's only on social media, and that's not enough to really, indict someone.
Okay, got it. So you're saying it's not illegal for him to go on Instagram and say he needs his money?
I mean, okay, if he goes on Instagram and says, I tell Diddy get my money by Monday, and he actually admits he said that, I'm going to smack him upside the head. Don't do that, okay? That will hurt your case. But how are we going to authenticate it? How do we know that he actually did it, right? It could be some weirdo. It could be a spoof. So the value of being on...
If someone catch you recording and it's Instagram, they save your story or they save it or they record it and show that it's him, is he in trouble? That's the question.
I think I would say the action hurts your case then, because you're saying, give my money or I'm going to hurt you by Monday. Why would you say that statement? If that comes in, it throws bias. Why would, it can hurt his case. It's terrible.
Okay, got it. So people stay off of Instagram, threatening people. You just don't want a digital footprint. You don't want a video or a digital footprint of you threatening anybody, period. All right, let's go. Next up, Christopher.
Quickly, Your Honor, I was going to say, I agree, but I would also add that one of his claims is that Diddy failed to pay him, right? So he would have the opportunity to say he's just talking about the money that he was owed. And so that might be a defense.
Okay, and that's probably what he's referring to when he talks about his money, right?
That's what I would say.
That's what, I
wouldn't to extortion.
Right, exactly. All right, Christopher Liberman, thank you so much. Thank you, Jeff. Christopher Liberman, thank you so much. He said, can y'all talk about the It Ends With Us drama and if the stuff being done to Baldoni is fair and legal? Is anybody familiar with this? Okay, I'm gonna assume you're not. All right, let's keep going.
Yeah, that movie is the one that's out with Blake Lively right now, but I haven't been following that legal case.
Got it. All right, let's keep going. Rudy Huxtable. Hey, Rudy. Pleasure to thank you for keeping up with us here on the Court of Public Opinion. Was there a bill of sale or receipt with the balance owed? Oh, that's a good question, because usually even if you go in to take jewelry or borrow jewelry, they'll give you a bill of sale or a receipt with your outstanding balance on it. What do you think here, Attorney Turner?
So they're not asserting that. I actually think, I'm glad she asked that question, because one of the interesting things about this case is one of the elements of their proof is that the jeweler was able to surreptitiously record the discussion, and they're using that to show evidence of the contract. Now, as Attorney Ross knows, Florida is a two-party consent state, which means that if all the parties in the conversation did not agree to the recording, then they committed a felony. So this may just get juicier. Stay tuned.
Oh, so juicy is, so let me understand this. If somebody was recording my conversation, I live in the state of California, and we got the most rigorous when it comes to being recorded, if I'm not mistaken. So if someone recorded my conversation and posted it on Instagram per se, or no, on YouTube against my will to allegedly prove a case, is that legal, Attorney Ross?
No, that's not legal. Well, it depends on where the call originated from, right? So if you're in Florida and I call you in California and I have a lawsuit in Florida and I say, well, he said that he saw me running around in red silk underwear and it's not true. Okay, great. So I can use that in Florida if I tell you at the beginning of the call, hey, I'm recording you. But then what are you going to say back? You're not going to say anything that would hurt yourself. So that's typically the way it works there. If you're in California, I don't think you can use it at all.
Period. Attorney Jamarcus, are you familiar with the cases? I mean, with the law in California? Because I was in California. The company, because it was a company Zoom, we're based out of California. It was done on a work Zoom. If somebody recorded me with their device and they're in a different state, is that legal without my consent? Or do you know?
Here's the thing, Your Honor. It depends, as Attorney Ryan stated, it depends on exactly where the incident occurred. Now, here's the thing. In California, if you're receiving the phone call in California, if there's any type of action that's happened in California, California state law most likely will supersede. And in California, you cannot record. Yeah, Trump. Oh, I don't even like saying that word. But no. In California, you cannot record someone without their consent. You have to let that person know that I am recording you, and can I have your consent to record you? So no, Your Honor, it would not fly in court.
Very good to know. Good to know. I'm learning tonight too, everybody. I feel like I was recorded illegally, from what I understand. All right, next up, Christopher Livermore. Thank you again, Christopher Livermore. He said, how do you submit questions? You probably have to give me a little bit more understanding of what that means, because you submitted this one very well. Do you mean submit questions to the
people in the chat are saying
I've been looking at the chat. I think he figured it out.
Oh, all right. He figured it out. All right, Billy B. Thank you so much, Billy B. I know tonight's show was a little weird, but thank you, Billy B, because that was messy AF.
Christopher Liverman is laughing at you now.
How was that messy, Billy B? How was that messy? I just got PST.
We was messy tonight.
I've got a flashback on something that was done to me.
Huh? You could do an entire show on wiretap.
Not the back shots tonight. Oh my
there's
God.
State implications.
All right, let's see. 901 Cash G said, Al, you signed a waiver agreeing to the recording of Zoom. That's correct, I did. And when you sign into the Zoom, you have to agree to the actions before logging in. That has nothing to do with someone using their phone and recording our work private and confidential work call, 901 Cash G, and then using and posting that on a social platform. A, that's against company policy, because I signed that document for sure that said we're not supposed to use that type of stuff illegally. And B, no one got my permission to record me outside of the Zoom. Am I missing something, Attorney Turner, Attorney Ross, Attorney Bradford?
You've actually described a law school question, because the reason it's a law school question in terms of issue spotting is, and I'm going to accept a few things to be true because I've never noticed this when I sign into Zoom that you have this broad waiver, but assuming that when you sign into Zoom that there's a waiver for recording, assuming that you signed some waiver at your employment, if the only thing that was recorded was that conversation, it just happened to be recorded by a private device, it gets more complicated because the content is not objectionable. You consented to it. Now, if the waiver you signed was using the information for a limited purpose and it was used more broadly by the person who surreptitiously recorded it, then that is going to be something for debate. But here's the other thing that's really interesting, right? And I think Attorney Ross can elaborate on this. The laws emphasize the surreptitious recording. So to your point, if I have my cell phone and I'm surreptitiously recording and you don't know, if I were your lawyer, I would say, well, you didn't consent to that. I don't really care if he consented to recording generally. He didn't consent to Sally Mae over in her house recording.
That's Sally Mae over her house recording. I love it. All right, that is our questions. Let's see, make sure we don't have any more. Thank you, Billy B, for that. He said what they did to Al, it was gross. Ooh, you think so? Very interesting. All right. Thank you, Billy B. I appreciate all of your support. That really means a lot to me. All right, everybody. This is the part of the show where we give
I just want to. I'm looking at the.
What?
No, I just no. Before you we get
Bradford, calm down.
I know.
Attorney Bradford.
I just wanted to give a shout out to 901 Cash G, 901 Cash G, because you're from the same.
Attorney Bradford, we don't talk to our jury. Attorney Bradford. Quiet, please.
Yes, Your Honor. Honor.
Lord, these Gen Zs and quiet, just quiet. Okay,
they gonna put you up, Attorney Bradford.
I want to bring up that I want to bring up that when I tried to intervene, I was taken off stage.
Oh God, everybody wants to talk too much tonight. Relax. All right, first up, Donald Trump, Attorney General, is he guilty or not guilty of trying to wiggle his way out of the court system again? All right, with this immunity thing, is Donald Trump guilty or not guilty?
The hair tells you everything you need to know. He's guilty.
Attorney Ross, guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty. He went to the Supreme Court and won. Why are we doing the same thing again? They said it's presidential immunity. It's over.
Did you say not guilty?
Not guilty.
Mute that man. Something. Y'all's water. Something's going on in y'all's water tonight.
Guilty.
Attorney Ross, this is a constitutional lawyer's dream. I think this is
presidential immunity.
How can you say, okay, Attorney Bradford, Attorney Ross has been smoking again before coming. Attorney Bradford, guilty or not guilty?
I don't know what, Your Honor, I don't know what he been smoking. Brian, you my boy, I don't know what you've been smoking, sir, but Trump is guilty as charged, okay? As Attorney Shatton said, look at that hair. Ain't nobody hair looking like that, and they innocent, okay?
All right, Al Reynolds being the judge here, I'm going to find him guilty. Guilty of everything. I don't care. Guilty of walking too fast, walking too slow. Talking too fast, talking too slow. Guilty. I need this man to go to jail. All right, guilty. Next up, P. Diddy. Is Diddy guilty or not guilty for playing with Little Rod's Pussycat? All right, Attorney Bradford, is Diddy guilty or not guilty?
Your Honor, the fact that you just said Pussycat is taking me out, but he is very much guilty as charged. Diddy, my boy, you out here doing. I feel so bad. I feel bad for Lil Rod because
it's not a closing statement, Attorney Bradford. Attorney Bradford, this is not a closing statement. Tell me, guilty or not guilty? Attorney Ross, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty. He's been guilty the whole time.
All right, Attorney Turner, is he guilty or not guilty?
I think he might be not guilty on a technicality because of how you phrase the question. I'm not up on the urban vernacular, but I don't know if Lil Rod has a Tootsie Cat. So that's why I'm going to say not guilty.
All right, so legally, Attorney Turner, because you like legalities, a Tootsie Cat on a man is booty hole, okay? So.
Not the booty hole. Oh my God.
Well, in that case,
it's too much.
I'm just kidding. We're having fun tonight. All right, I'm Al Reynolds, and I'm the judge here in the Court of Public Opinion. And I'm going to say, Diddy, you are still working with a perception issue, and right now, public opinion is that you're guilty. You're guilty. I'm sorry, you're guilty. All right, next up, Floyd Mayweather and Tyga, are they guilty or not guilty of stealing that jeweler's jewelry? Attorney Ross, what says you? You're on mute, sir. Look on your laptop and do unmute.
Man, they're not guilty. They're not guilty. The jeweler knew what he was doing from the begining. He knew.
So you're saying Floyd Mayweather and Tyga are not guilty?
They're not
Attorney
guilty.
Bradford, is Floyd Mayweather and Tyga guilty or not guilty for paying their bills?
They are guilty as hell. Just because you're a celebrity does not give you the right to say, oh, I'm a celebrity, therefore I don't have to pay you the rest of your money. Tyga, right, first of all, Tyga, you're known for these type of things, but Floyd, we're really disappointed.
Hey, This is not closing statement. Guilty or not guilty is all I need. Attorney Turner, guilty or not guilty?
I need more facts, and until I get them, I say not guilty like Attorney Ross. This is the game.
Okay, got it. Okay, this is Al, and I'm the judge in the court of public opinion. Tyga and Floyd, he may have made a deal, but he didn't plan on you to come in there and get all that you got. And next time, you don't do it if he's not there. I think they went in there with their celebrity. They abused their celebrity, got more stuff than was probably thought was going to be negotiated and allowed. And they thought that they were going to get away with it. And I think that this is a pressure move to publicly humiliate them into paying. I don't know if it's going to work, but do better, Floyd and Tyga. And I'm going to find you not guilty. All right, last and final, Tom Girardi. Is Tom Girardi guilty or not guilty of stealing those families' money? Attorney Turner, what say you?
He's in a hospital for dementia right now, so I'm going to say he's going to be found not guilty because he didn't know what he was doing.
Mental capacity?
Exactly. I'm gonna go on a link.
Wow. All right, so you said he's not guilty or guilty?
Not guilty by virtue of mental capacity.
Wow.
All right, Attorney Ross, guilty or not guilty?
He might not remember what he did, but he did it. He's guilty. All
right, Attorney Bradford, guilty or not guilty?
Here's the thing. I love me some Erika Jayne, but this is guilt all over it. What you did to those families is messed up, Girardi. It's messed up.
All right, in the court of public opinion, I'm your judge, and I'm going to find this guy who looks deranged and looks demented guilty. Guilty is charged. You will never be able to step into this court and steal people who died on a plane, steal their millions of dollars so that you can look good on television. Go straight to jail time. All right, everybody, that concludes another night of the Court of Public Opinion. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you are subscribed, be sure to hit that share button, turn on your notifications, and also jump into the chat. See you on Friday. Have a good night. Court is now out session.